How do you identify someone with a long-term relationship potential? If for nothing else, so you do not waste your time. You don't have any time to waste. Do we have time? And the class said we don't. Before coming on, I was reminded of an episode in my life. I think late 20s, I'd only met this woman once. And so I decided that, it wouldn't hard to know her. She looks good. So I invited her for a date and said, there's this nice quiet place I know we could meet and hang out and maybe get to know each other. And she's like, yeah, I'll come. And so we went to this place on the said date. Now, I am very friendly with a lot of waiters because I'm such a stickler to the places I go to, and I don't stray so much with my order. If I eat something and I find it nice and delectable, I'll keep eating it. That's how I am. I don't try things because I don't like disappointment. I'm your typical, if I was a steak and mashed potato guy, I'd likely often do steak and mashed potato. I'm not though. Whatever it is I am, I stick to that. You get the drift, right? And so because I used to frequent this place and I liked it because they used to play some very nice jams. They just leave somebody playing, strumming some tunes on the piano, at least from their stereo. And the ambience was very nice and quiet and very green. And so that I thought that was a good place to meet this woman and hopefully get to know her. So we sat across from each other and she went first. She was placing her order. And then she said, I'll take these cold. She was asking for something. I can't remember the drink, but I remember her saying, I want it cold, right? And so the waitress who knew me said, oh, Eric, good to see you. Brought her the cold thing she wanted. And before she could walk away, she touched this woman and said, hey, who takes something cold in this weather? What is wrong with you in this weather? I said hot or even like room temperature, like really? She just went off the hook. She was completely belligerent. And of course, I motioned forward, trying to manage the situation because I know this lady and she's always very helpful and very nice. So I told her in a whispery, quiet voice, I said, it's okay, they'll sort it out. They're very nice people. But I could swear you said cold. I think you just maybe, I think it skipped your mind, but you said cold. And off she went. She's like, so you're siding with her. Is this your waiter girlfriend? Oh, we siding with waiters. I know what I said. So I was beginning to get exasperated. I was like, what is wrong with this person? What am I getting myself into? One of the things I've tried to work on, and I'm still working on, but now it's tremendously improved, is my impatience levels. I used to be very, very impatient. Now I'm better. Now I think age and thank God some wisdom. I was tempted to up and leave. I didn't. I just, I decided to be a man and suck it up. And so, but I wasn't happy. Long and short of it, the date ended 45 minutes later. And I took her where she was going. We never spoke again. I think I met her only once in town, maybe 6 or 7 years after that. And she was giving me this very absurd tale about an estranged husband who was being crazy, something crazy. So we remained acquaintances, but nothing romantic happened. And so the reason I was telling that story is because sometimes you're just given to chance to try and figure out how things turn out. And sometimes you have very little control. But I think there are traits or telltale signs that the person you're trying to know, even in your now talking stage, can reveal for you whether there's potential longevity in a relationship with them or not. And so that you save your time. And that's what I want us to talk about today. My name is Eric. If you're new here, thank you so much. Eric Stories is just that. Stories from this guy called Eric, me. And we speak with each other. I don't speak at you. And I love your mind about all of these conversations. So share your perspective with me. It goes a longer way to help even me grow. First things first. I think a potential or a partner who has potential for longevity in a relationship must be said. First thing, they have to be even-tempered. For the simple reason that in the initial stages of any relationship, people tend to bring their best representative, So you want to be wary of somebody who shows irritability earlier on in the relationship. Because you can't do anything serious long-term with somebody who is a short fuse, can you? You can't, okay? So it is prudent that you check their temper. And if they are not even tempered, then I would strongly advise that you fold. Because if we've met the first time and you're going off and you're being berserk, trying to cause a scene, what happens when you start dealing with the real things in life? All right? Real things in life that often take place in a relationship. So it can also indicate a person who's ill-tempered can indicate that they're both not only brittle, it's brittleness in full display, but also a sense of entitlement, not to mention just plain disrespect. Plain disrespect. That is why they're talking to you the way they're talking to you. They have issues with the respect. All right? So I think emotionally mature people will tell you if something is amiss. If they feel like you've done something off, they'll tell you to do it differently in a very respectful way. All right? They would. They will not pout their lips. They're not going to give you silent treatment. We've talked about that sometime last week. They're not going to, go on prolongated parts of silence without saying anything. They will communicate maturely that, I feel like you went a little off over there. And now it's upon you to realize that, okay, fine, I overstepped. And then you apologize if you're mature. And you who's mature, who's communicated maturely, if they don't listen and they continue in that route, then, fold. They're weird. They're weird. And what you permit persists. That's the first thing. All right? Second thing, they give back. Fairness and reciprocity are at the heart of a healthy relationship. Anybody who is emotionally mature does not want to come across as a user or somebody who's taking advantage of you. They'll be careful not to come across as somebody who's taking advantage of you. All right? So they're giving off of their time and their energy and even resources to the relationship. But now if you look back the past five dates, 4 of which they've cancelled, 3 of which you've tried and rescheduled, the answer is in there. If reciprocity is lacking and just fairness and the need and the maturity to see that I'm dealing with another human being and time is an important component in this relationship, then maybe you want to fold again because it's going to just become a bigger problem. And most things in life, including relationships, are very time sensitive. That's why many men and some women, a lot of women, would frown if you're just dating them for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Because, they don't have forever to date. They want to, ascend to another level. They want to ascend to maybe being fianced and later married and later a child and so on and so forth. All right? What do you think? How is it you tell longevity potential in a partner or potential of a long relationship with somebody you like? I think the other thing we could end with, I have a whole bunch, but conversation for another day. They apologize and make amends pronto. They apologize. I've met women who swear the way they can't apologize. Even men who say, I apologize to a woman. And they can become very hysterical. So emotionally mature people who would promise longevity in a relationship have the sense of mind to say, you know what, I shouldn't have talked to you like that. And also just apologize maturely. I think in a different episode I spoke about ways I was learning to apologize. Some of us love to apologize from a place of remorse, and it does little in terms of mending the bridge if instead you apologize from a place of consequence. Yeah, you could scroll down on YouTube and maybe Instagram and you'll see I talked about apology. So they have the sense of mind to say, I really am sorry. I know I kept you waiting for 1 hour and it may come off like I don't respect your time, but I really do. X, Y, and Z happen. Going forward, I'll do X, Y, and Z. And even more than apologizing, then maybe they even change their behavior. Finally, I think if they are flexible and compromise well. That's another thing. They compromise well. It's hard. I mean, life throws at you very different things. Sometimes you are planning on A and then Z happens. And so if you're dating somebody or you're getting to know somebody who is able to distinguish between personal rejection and something unexpected coming up, then you stand a better chance to maybe try long term. But short term, when these core things are missing, it is very telling of a would-be quite dire and grim future if you're going to hang around. Let me know what you think. How do you tell a potential in a long-term relationship, in a partner? Good evening.